Hey there everybody, it's Mac and we are out here at Raven Rock State Park in North Carolina. It is the first sunny day on a Saturday in about 5 weeks. So we are out here just checking on the trails. Sadly, the amount of rain that we've had has really done some damage around here. We've had some flash flood warnings and major flood warnings. I was just talking to one of the workers here, and they said that they're not sure that the Little Creek Trail is even open because of the amount of flooding and the amount of water and rain that we've had recently. But that's exactly why we're here. And not only just to check on the trails, but I also got a new pair of Altra RSM shoes. And I've been wearing them for about 3 weeks, breaking them in around the house and so forth and so on. So we're going to make sure that they hold up to their purpose. So a full review will come. I'll definitely show you some shots of some of the mud that I know is out here because of the rain. And we'll definitely see you on the trail. All right, guys, so I'm down here on the Little Creek Trail. There was not a barricade or anything saying that it was closed, so I decided to take a look and see exactly how it was. Now, this trail took a particular beating back-to-back years between the two hurricanes, Matthew and Floyd, that hit us. There's downed trees all over the place, and it's never fully recovered. The water flood area right off of the Cape Fear here can get really bad, and I have not even gone 1/10 of a mile on this trail and have already had to jump over little streams that are cutting across the trail and everything because of the amount of water that we've had so far. So far, I'll have to tell you though, I've had to step through quite a big few mud puddles. You saw what shot there earlier, and quite a few more like that have been coming up. So yeah, the shoes are doing great. My feet are not wet. Everything they say about the RSM shoes so far seems to be true. So let's keep at it and let's see what happens next. All right, guys, so behind me is probably one of the best parts of the Little Creek Trail. Sadly, in the summertime when there has not been as much rain, it doesn't look as beautiful as this. However, this is a gorgeous sliding rock that we have right here in Raven Rock, and again, if it was warmer or if it was summertime, I'd so be there. I do remember coming here as a kid. I live locally, and Raven Rock is like my home. So as a kid coming here, sliding down this rock, even when there was barely any water, we made sure it worked. Absolutely gorgeous sight. The shoes are holding up good. I've come through again I can even stand here and the water run over the tops of my shoes and my feet are not getting wet. So I'm very, very ecstatic about that part. The grip on the shoes have definitely helped me more than once on this trip, along with my hiking poles and my trekking poles. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to just finding out what's in store with the rest of this trail. So here we go. This is just some of the devastation that was caused from the two hurricanes. Massive long leaf pine trees that had to be cut through to be able to make way for the trail again. And large pile-ups of brambles, limbs, so here we are, probably about 2/10 of a mile off of the lower Little Creek Trail. The water is still gushing like mad down the hill, and this is actually probably, I'd have to say probably my second favorite spot on this trail. Mainly because in the summer when you come here, perfect place for lunch, I'm telling you. It's right off of the trail. You can come over here, cross the little river, straight over to that rock and sit there with your feet dangling in the rock the entire time you're having lunch. I came here this summer during the pandemic. This trail, as it is so kind of off the beaten path, everybody passes it on their way to go see Raven Rock. Let's go see the rock, right? That's what everybody comes here for. But this trail is probably one of the most beautiful trails that we have here at Raven Rock State Park. It's very secluded, maybe not so much after this video, but it has some breathtaking views, amazing water. You can follow all the way down to the Cape Fear, and this actually will loop around and take you back up to Raven Rock Trail Loop, but also take you out towards the family camping ground and onward also the back way to the canoe campground. So it definitely kind of connects to everything on the right side of Raven Rock State Park, but just absolutely breathtaking and beautiful trail. All right, guys, so we have made it kind of to the end of Little Creek Loop. There is a branch off here that goes across this bridge. Now, they have it blocked off. The water's extremely high. When I came here a couple summers ago, there's a tree here. Let's see if I can get it. Probably not, but there's a tree there that goes across it, really large one. Definitely like a Dirty Dancing style tree where it's really fat and big and it goes across the ravine. A couple of us actually did that just because it was so fun, and there was no water there at the time. And as you can see now, the water is just so high. Everything is kind of flooded back that way. So they have the trail marked off so that you can't go back that way. But we are actually going to continue to follow the loop. Right behind me, there's a sign that goes that way that lets us know that we are on our way to the canoe camp and the group camping sites. So here we are, guys. We made it down to the Cape Fear River. As you can tell, it is extremely high and fast moving. Definitely wouldn't want to be trying to go upstream in a kayak right now. Cape Fear River Adventures has the local, you can go on their webpage and they have a how high the current is and how high the water is and how fast the current is and how high the river is and what's best for this type of particular thing. And it says yeah, tubing and slow rafting and all that not acceptable at the moment. Pretty much the only thing that it's good for at this moment is some white water rafting up by Lanier Falls and at the fish traps. However, beautiful spot. Hopefully I will be able to come back here this summer. My plan is to canoe in from Cape Fear River Adventures and spend the night here. And then canoe back out so the next day. So that's the ultimate goal for this particular session. As you can see, as we're coming up the hill, we have a few steps that we're going to need to carry our canoe up. There's really no place along the river that you can leave it. You'll have to take it up, and once you get up the things, there is a bathroom up there, so that's always nice. And I think there's 6 different campsites for canoe and camping. So just go on the state park's homepage, Raven Rock, and you can actually go there and set up for your canoe camp spot as well. So I decided to hike down to one of the actual canoe camp in sites just because I had seen on the website what was available. I just wanted to take a look at some. I will tell you, with the rain and everything, about 4 of the sites are actually flooded. Access to them is very muddy. This is canoe campsite number 2, pretty dry all the way from the Cape Fear, bring it up, and it's actually one of the closest ones to the Cape Fear. You can see the Cape Fear right from the campsite. It's very nice and cleared out. It's definitely got some seating. It's got a nice picnic table here and also has a nice fire pit. There's plenty of extra brambles and things laying around that can definitely be gathered for firewood. Just make sure no cutting of the trees. Keep it like it is. If it's fallen, great, use it. If it's, still alive, please don't cut it down. Respect what we have. We're gonna go ahead and head back up and follow the loop out, which will take us almost to the rock, and let's keep going. So I've been on the trail for a couple hours now, actually about an hour and 45 minutes truthfully from the time I left the parking lot, stopped at the picnic area for the video introduction and continued onto the loop. I'm actually only at the 1 mile mark on the Little Creek Trail, which is about half a mile from the parking lot if you follow the Raven Rock Trail. So I've really only gone, according to these trail markers, like a mile and a half. Sometimes it's not about how fast you get somewhere. Sometimes it's about the journey. I have explored this park for so many years. The beauty of this park never ceases to amaze me. There's different things around every corner, and because the state workers here are so adamant about not destroying anything that's natural. It changes constantly. The only thing they do is if something falls across the trail, they clear the trail. They don't mess with anything else that's fallen. They let it lay, so it becomes homes for more things in nature, and shelters for all types of bugs and wonderful little things. But this is the way it's meant to be, and this is the way they keep it. I apologize for the bright light, but it is almost noon here. The temperature's finally climbed up to about 36 degrees, so it's not as cold as it was when I first started, but we still got a little bit to go. So let's keep going. So here we are at the end of the Little Creek Loop, and as you can see, there's like a four-way intersection here. If you head back behind me is where I just came from, the backside of the Lower Creek Loop. If you head that way, it'll take you the rest of the way around to Raven Rock, the Overlook, and then over towards the fish traps and back around to parking that way. The rest of that journey will be about another 1.6 miles. And if you head that way, you head back towards the parking lot, and it's only about 0.5 miles. However, it is up a huge hill, so all that downhill footage that was at the beginning of the video, you have to climb up all that on the way back. So sometimes a lot of people just opt to continue on the loop because it's a much easier trail. There is another road here that is just for authorized vehicles only. It's for park staff to come down, you know, check on the campsites and the campers and things like that, and make sure that the area is clear before they lock up at the night. Used to be, when I was much younger, there was not authorized vehicle only signs, and we actually were able to hike up that trail, which is easier than going up the actual Raven Rock Loop trail towards the parking lot. However, we do want to make sure that we pay attention to the rules. So we are going to head back up towards the parking lot now, and we'll save our trip to the actual rock for another day. So I made it back up to the parking lot and picnic shelter area. I'll be heading out for today. One thing I have to say, these Altra RSM, I did not get the high top ones. I got the regular low cut ones, and my feet are not wet at all, and they're not damp. Despite having stepped through quite a few big mud puddles where it was going over the top of the toe of my shoe, and I've showed you a picture of that already. So I'm really happy with the quality of the shoes that way. The fit is definitely a lot of room at the toe. However, I have a wide foot anyhow, and other than just a wide foot, I also have a very high instep. So the lacing, I had to relace my shoes to get them to fit my feet properly so they didn't crush the top of my feet. Now, again, this is above the toes at the instep, not necessarily at the toe line. This is the first pair of shoes, hiking shoes, I've had that my pinky has not rubbed against the side of my shoe. I'm very much looking forward to not having blisters on my feet because of these shoes, so I'm very excited about that. Other than that, we're going to call it quits for today. So thanks for joining me. Altra RSM shoes, they definitely do the job, and we'll talk to y'all later. Have a great one.